So I'm nearly certain you guys have probably run into the RPO glitch that is pretty popular in the Kansas City Chiefs playbook. If you guys haven't, this is something that a lot of players will use to make your defense run commit or really just play the running back on an RPO style pass in this playbook and other playbooks very, very much like this. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys a way that you can slow down these people that play this way and put your opponents in a spot where they're either going to start taking quarterback hits or committing penalties for illegal man downfield. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get into it. What is up, guys? Zan from the Zan Madden YouTube channel, and as you can see, there is a little bit of an RPO glitch running around the community right now. I wouldn't necessarily call it so much glitch as just bad coding.
EA Sports, it's in the game.
And this play that we're going to be talking about today is the RPO read flat wheel. This is found in the Kansas City Chiefs playbook. However, there are variations of this particular RPO style of play throughout the game. There's a lot of playbooks that have something similar to this. So you guys can utilize what I'm about to show you guys. Really what it comes down to with this play is that your cornerbacks get confused. And a lot of times if you come up in press coverage, which so many players like to do when they are playing man-to-man, you'll end up with your defensive backs either chasing the ball carrier or swapping off or essentially not covering their assignment. So what we're going to talk about is kind of a tiered way that you guys can slow this play down. Now, the first thing that I'm going to tell you is don't run man coverage against this. If you're going to run something resembling man-to-man, I would highly recommend you go to a match quarters style of defense. Now, the good news is I've got an entire match game plan over on my strategy website, gridirongameplans.gg, where I break down all the rules for quarters, palms, cover 6, cover 9, cover 6 trap, cover 6 invert, and how to run this effectively and at a high level against good opponents in Madden. And you're going to need little tricks like knowing what to do exactly out of your match style defense to combat these kind of scummy tactics that you'll sometimes see when you're facing players online. So let's go ahead and show you exactly what I would do. I'm going to call the RPO read flat wheel, and I'm going to call, let's go ahead and have Overstorm in my audibles, but I'm also going to leave a little bit of a match coverage. Doesn't matter, quarters or palms, whichever you prefer. And what we'll do here is I'll start off kind of showing you the Overstorm Brave version of this. Obviously, a lot of players here, they have this habit of wanting to come down and press coverage. So again, if we kind of take a look at the way that this play behaves, when your opponent is in press coverage, you take a look at the two corners on the right. We've got 3 receivers or 3 pass catching options to the right of the quarterback, 2 to the left. Well, you take a look, there's an R icon, this is your read man, and there's a P icon, this is your pass key. Basically, these two players get really screwed up when your opponent is in a press alignment and will oftentimes basically play the run portion of the RPO. So what a lot of players will do is they'll just snap this ball and instantly throw this post to Hardman off the line. And that's what you saw in the intro lead in to this video. So a lot of players will kind of start off with that. Now you would think, okay, well, if that's the case, we don't want those guys being, you know, somebody that's going to run commit or get swapped off. Let's baseline and press. However, when you baseline and press out of this, again, the same drill is going to happen. You're going to notice that there's just this crazy swap off. You can even make this an easier throw for a one-play score. So really, if you're playing man-to-man, you have to kind of just in the back of your mind know that there's a chance they're going to throw the ball right down the seam. And yeah, you could bait this, but if you guess wrong, you're going to be out of position no matter what. The other thing to consider is that there's a lot more to this play than, you know, just running the RPO glitch. There's actually some good runs, you know, 0-1 traps. There's other things you have to worry about in this. So that's why, again, I think match is going to be the difference maker for you guys in this. So let's go ahead and start to now call a match coverage. And the reason we're going to do this here, we're actually going to combine this with a couple of different coach settings. So the first thing you need to understand when you run match is you have to turn it on. So turn on match.
EA Sports, it's in the game.
And then what we're going to do is go to option defense because this is an RPO. We're going to go ahead and set our option defense to conservative. This is going to make it so that our defensive end stays on the quarterback. A lot of players in years past, this was actually tougher to deal with in 22, would use an escape artist quarterback. Now, obviously that's an X factor, but they would escape artist behind this. So if the guy wasn't wide open, they just take off. So we're going to tell our defensive end to stay home. So let's go ahead and take this to the field here. So we're going to be running a play the quarterback, base aligned, match on, cover 4 quarters, and you're going to press. You notice that when we press out of this look, you can very easily see that our defensive backs are actually spread out very, very well. Now, what I will typically do with this is I will actually, if they aren't motioning to create, a kind of a bunch look, I will actually take my quarter flats and shade them down into hard flats. This will not change the matching principles of the deep zones, but if your opponent were to audible out to something else, just be aware that not having quarter flats on the field can affect the performance of your match coverage as a whole. So just kind of understand that that is the way that, we're going to defend this play specifically. Now, with this particular play, really all you have to do at this point is just pass commit. So I'm going to go ahead and pass commit. And what you're going to see is that there's going to be no crazy run commits. Everybody's playing their match. And really at the point of, oh, hey, that wheel's open, or hey, that crossing route is open, because this is an RPO play, you're going to have players illegally downfield. So if you take a look at the line, I can't throw anything right here. These guys are too far down the field. So we've basically taken away any run commit opportunity. My wheel is being matched. And you see right here that we've got a guy in the flat that's being played by our hard flat. Yes, this crosser is open, but again, the line is 5 yards downfield. So they're not making anybody run commit. You're staying home on the quarterback scramble with your conservative defensive end. You've got the immediate hike throw covered down the seam. There's nobody to throw a wide open wheel to. And if they decide to do anything other than get hit by Bosa at this point, it's going to be a penalty. So now you've got a free hit on the quarterback when your opponent's trying to glitch you out. You've taken away the option, and you're in real good shape. Now, if you really want to shut this down, maybe you have some inside stuffs on your defensive line to kind of deal with this simply for the run component of this. But from this standpoint, we're done. Everything is handled. If you want to, you could lab gap shoots, obviously. One thing I might even recommend doing on top of this is, since we are in this coverage where we are basically base aligned, pressed, shaded down, you might walk Derwin James just to take away the intentional quick throw. And then kind of take a look at your instant replay and see, okay, well, it looked to me like the backside A gap might have opened up here for the run. So maybe you go ahead and say, let's now take this user who looked like he might have been able to make a play and throw him right here. That way, if they do hand off the ball, I can make that play. And obviously it's very, very hard for me to gap shoot and run the ball at the same time. But you see how that head-on collision is now going to occur. This is going to allow you very easily to shut down every component of this. Now, the one thing that I will say is if you walk the safety down the box too far, if you take a look there at Derwin, he actually did fall for the play fake. So be careful with that. You want to kind of fiddle with the placement that you can best get away with here. So when you're doing that, make sure that you, if I bring up my play art here, when I go click on Derwin, you see when I move him down here, it takes the icon off our nickel corner. You might want to just leave him right here. That way that tells you that he's not a conflict defender. This will now allow you to play the post without, that guy run committing potentially. Even if you pass commit, it still might, give you a little bit of trouble. But again, here you see how I can still gap shoot. Nobody's run committing in the middle of the field. Nobody's run committing on the wheel. You've got the drag or the quick flat taken away by your hard flat shade underneath. You're playing the quarterback scramble. Everything on this play is completely shut down to a satisfactory level, and your opponents are going to have to find a different way to move the ball down the field in this game. So I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. You can run this concept out of any match coverage. It doesn't have to be 2-4-5. It could be literally any defense you want. It's just coverage adjustments, just coaching adjustments. And I hope you guys better understand why this play is so glitchy and why players are moving down the field with it against the man coverage meta. So for those of you playing man coverage, get out of it. For those of you that are running the RPO flat, make the entire right side of the defense run commit, be a little bit better. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Until then, this is Zan. Get in the lab and good luck.